Question 1.
On a Pennsylvania highway with 3 or more lanes in one direction, a CMV is prohibited from traveling in which lane?
A. The far right lane. B. The center lane. C. The far left lane. D. The shoulder.
Correct answer, C. The far left lane.
Explanation. In Pennsylvania, vehicles with a gross weight over 10,000 pounds are generally not permitted to be driven in the far left lane of any roadway with 3 or more lanes of traffic in the same direction. Question 2.
Which of these vehicles requires a CDL with the proper endorsements to operate?
A. A straight truck with a GVW R of 26,000 pounds. B. A combination vehicle pulling 2 or 3 trailers. C. A bus designed to carry 15 passengers, including the driver. D. Any truck used for commercial purposes.
Correct answer, B. A combination vehicle pulling 2 or 3 trailers.
Explanation. A T endorsement is required to operate a CMV pulling double or triple trailers. A P endorsement is required for vehicles designed to carry 16 or more persons. Question 3.
Which of the following tasks is not part of a driver's engine compartment pre-trip inspection?
A. Checking the engine oil level. B. Checking the coolant level in the reservoir. C. Verifying the engine's valve clearance. D. Looking for worn electrical wiring and hoses.
Correct answer, C. Verifying the engine's valve clearance.
Explanation. Valve clearance is a technical maintenance procedure that must be performed by a qualified mechanic. The driver's inspection focuses on checking fluids and looking for visible defects like leaks or wear. Question 4.
What does the term bobtail refer to?
A. A tractor with a very short wheelbase. B. A tractor operating without a semi-trailer attached. C. A truck painted with a camouflage design. D. A tractor used exclusively for off-road purposes.
Correct answer, B. A tractor operating without a semi-trailer attached.
Explanation. A bobtail is the common industry term for a road tractor being driven without a trailer. Braking performance can be poor due to the light weight on the drive axles. Question 5.
What is the best way to see what is happening to the sides and rear of your vehicle?
A. Use the small interior rearview mirror. B. Turn your head and look out the side windows. C. Properly adjust and regularly check your side mirrors. D. Lean out of the driver's side window.
Correct answer, C. Properly adjust and regularly check your side mirrors.
Explanation. A CMV driver's primary tool for monitoring the traffic environment is their mirrors. They must be adjusted correctly before each trip and scanned frequently while driving. Question 6.
What are the 2 main functions of a vehicle's suspension system?
A. To keep the axles in place and support the vehicle's load. B. To keep the truck's frame from vibrating. C. To prevent the tires from wearing out too quickly. D. To improve fuel economy and steering response.
Correct answer, A. To keep the axles in place and support the vehicle's load.
Explanation. The suspension system's primary jobs are to support the weight of the vehicle and its cargo, and to keep the axles properly aligned to maintain stability and control. Question 7.
Which of the following is not a recognized type of vehicle retarder?
A. Hydraulic retarder. B. Exhaust retarder. C. Electric retarder. D. Pneumatic retarder.
Correct answer, D. Pneumatic retarder.
Explanation. The 4 recognized retarder per braking aids are hydraulic, transmission, electric, eddy current, exhaust brake, and engine, compression release, often called a Jake brake. Pneumatic is not a retarder type. Question 8.
What is the correct technique to start moving on an uphill grade without rolling back?
A. Release the parking brake just before releasing the clutch. B. Partially engage the clutch and then release the parking brake. C. Release the clutch quickly while applying heavy throttle. D. Use the trailer handbrake to hold the vehicle.
Correct answer, B. Partially engage the clutch and then release the parking brake.
Explanation: to prevent rollback, hold the vehicle with the parking brake. As you let the clutch to the friction point and feel the engine begin to take the load, release the parking brake and apply power. Question 9.
For a CDL holder operating a CMV, what is the legal blood alcohol concentration, BAC, limit for a DUI?
A. 0.08. B. 0.04. C. 0.02. D. Any detectable amount is considered a DUI.
Correct answer, B. 0.04.
Explanation: the federal limit for a DUI in a commercial motor vehicle is 0.04%. However, having any detectable amount of alcohol will result in being placed out of service for 24 hours. Question 10.
When does a driver need a tank vehicle and endorsement?
A. To haul any type of liquid in any container. B. When hauling liquids in a permanently attached tank over 119 gallons. C. When hauling liquids in portable tanks with a total capacity of 1,000 gallons or more. D. Both B and C are correct.
Correct answer, D. Both B and C are correct.
Explanation: the N endorsement is required for vehicles with individual permanently or temporarily attached tanks exceeding 119 gallons, where the aggregate capacity of all such tanks is 1,000 gallons or more. Question 11.
In Pennsylvania, when must you have your headlights on?
A. Only from sunset to sunrise. B. When driving in a work zone. C. Whenever your windshield wipers are in continuous use. D. Only when visibility is less than 500 feet.
Correct answer, C. Whenever your windshield wipers are in continuous use.
Explanation: Pennsylvania law requires that headlights be turned on any time a vehicle's windshield wipers are in continuous or intermittent use due to precipitation or atmospheric moisture. Question 12.
What is the correct placement for warning devices when stopped on a one-way or divided highway?
A. 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet to the rear. B. 100 feet in front of the vehicle and 100 feet behind it. C. 10 feet in front, and 100 feet and 200 feet to the rear. D. 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet in front of the vehicle.
Correct answer, A. 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet to the rear.
Explanation: since all traffic approaches from the rear on a one-way or divided highway, warning devices, reflective triangles, are placed at 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet behind the vehicle. Question 13.
What is the recommended visual lead time for a CMV driver on an open highway?
A. 5 to 8 seconds. B. 8 to 10 seconds. C. 12 to 15 seconds. D. 20 to 25 seconds.
Correct answer, C. 12 to 15 seconds.
Explanation: scanning 12 to 15 seconds ahead, about a quarter mile at highway speeds, provides the necessary time to see, identify, and react to potential hazards in a smooth, controlled manner. Question 14.
What is the friction point in a manual transmission vehicle?
A. The point where the clutch pedal touches the floor. B. When the transmission is fully engaged in gear. C. The point in the pedal's travel where the clutch begins to transmit power. D. When the clutch is worn and begins to slip.
Correct answer, C. The point in the pedal's travel where the clutch begins to transmit power.
Explanation: the friction point is where the clutch disc first makes contact with the engine flywheel, allowing the driver to control the transfer of power for a smooth start. Question 15.
Which statement best describes the controlled braking method?
A. Pumping the brakes rapidly in an emergency. B. Applying firm, steady pressure to the brakes just short of locking them up. C. Applying the brakes hard enough to lock the wheels, then releasing them. D. Using only the trailer handbrake to stop the vehicle.
Correct answer, B. Applying firm, steady pressure to the brakes just short of locking them up.
Explanation. Controlled braking is the application of firm, steady brake pressure that slows the vehicle as rapidly as possible without causing the wheels to lock and skid, which preserves steering control. Question 16.
What is the function of the red, 8-sided knob labeled trailer air supply?
A. It supplies air to the trailer system and sets the trailer's emergency brakes. B. It is used to manually apply the trailer service brakes, trolley brake. C. It controls the temperature of the air supplied to the trailer. D. It is used exclusively to test the service brakes before a trip.
Correct answer, A. It supplies air to the trailer system and sets the trailer's emergency brakes.
Explanation. Pushing the knob in charges the trailer air system. Pulling the knob out vents the emergency air line, causing the trailer's spring brakes to apply. Question 17.
What should a driver know about taking over-the-counter, OTC, medications?
A. They are always safe to use while driving a CMV. B. They can cause side effects like drowsiness that impair driving ability. C. A driver cannot be charged with a DUI for using only OTC drugs. D. They are not regulated by the DOT.
Correct answer, B. They can cause side effects like drowsiness that impair driving ability.
Explanation. Many common OTC drugs for colds, allergies, or pain have warning labels because they can cause drowsiness or other side effects that make it unsafe to operate a motor vehicle. Question 18.
How does a heavy load affect a truck's stopping distance?
A. It has no significant effect. B. A heavy load improves traction, so it shortens stopping distance. C. A heavy load increases the truck's momentum and required stopping distance. D. An empty truck always takes longer to stop than a loaded one.
Correct answer, C. A heavy load increases the truck's momentum and required stopping distance.
Explanation. The heavier the vehicle, the greater its momentum. The brakes must work harder and dissipate more heat to stop a heavy load, which increases the required braking distance. Question 19.
What is a highway escape ramp?
A. An oversized ramp used to bypass a way station. B. A dedicated ramp that leads to a driver rest area. C. A lane of soft gravel or an uphill grade to stop a runaway vehicle. D. An emergency exit at a truck stop for police or fire trucks.
Correct answer, C. A lane of soft gravel or an uphill grade to stop a runaway vehicle.
Explanation. Escape ramps are built on long, steep downgrades as a last resort for a driver who has lost their primary braking ability. They are designed to safely stop the vehicle. Question 20.
Which of the following is a key element of communicating in traffic?
A. Using your CB radio to talk to other truckers. B. Using turn signals and lights to indicate your intentions. C. Making eye contact with other drivers. D. Listening to traffic reports to anticipate delays.
Correct answer, B. Using turn signals and lights to indicate your intentions.
Explanation. Signaling your intentions clearly and early is a fundamental part of safe, defensive driving. This includes using turn signals, brake lights, and headlights as needed. Question 21.
During a Tier 3 weather event declared by PennDOT, which vehicles are typically banned from the affected roadways?
A. All commercial vehicles. B. Empty straight trucks and tractors pulling empty single trailers. C. All passenger vehicles. D. Only trucks carrying hazardous materials.
Correct answer, B. Empty straight trucks and tractors pulling empty single trailers.
Explanation. PennDOT's tiered restrictions escalate with storm severity. Tier 3 typically bans empty CMVs, e.g., tractors bobtail per with empty single trailers, and other specified vehicles on posted routes. Question 22.
Why is it critical to select the proper gear before starting down a steep grade?
A. Shifting gears while on a steep downgrade can lead to a loss of control. B. It is illegal to shift gears on any posted downgrade. C. The transmission cannot handle the stress of shifting downhill. D. It saves fuel compared to staying in a higher gear.
Correct answer. A. Shifting gears while on a steep downgrade can lead to a loss of control.
Explanation: attempting to downshift while already moving too fast down a hill can cause you to miss a gear. This would result in a loss of all engine braking effect, forcing total reliance on the service brakes. Question 23.
To execute a proper left turn with a large combination vehicle, you should
A. Begin the turn as soon as you enter the intersection. B. Wait for the traffic light to turn yellow before starting the turn. C. Start the turn from the far right lane to allow for off-tracking. D. Proceed to the center of the intersection before beginning the turn.
Correct answer. D. Proceed to the center of the intersection before beginning the turn.
Explanation: to avoid cutting the corner and conflicting with other traffic, you should drive far enough into the intersection to ensure your vehicle can complete the turn into the correct lane. Question 24.
What is the primary reason bridges require extra caution in cold weather?
A. The surface of a bridge freezes much faster than the road surfaces on land. B. Bridge clearances can be reduced by the accumulation of ice. C. Bridges are often narrower than the surrounding roadway. D. The weight of a heavy truck can crack frozen bridge pavement.
Correct answer. A. The surface of a bridge freezes much faster than the road surfaces on land.
Explanation: because cold air circulates both above and below a bridge deck, it loses heat much faster than the ground. This means a bridge can be icy even when the approaching roadway is just wet. Question 25.
When you spot a hazard ahead, your first reaction should be to
A. Check your mirrors. B. Apply the service brakes. C. Steer onto the shoulder. D. Honk the horn.
Correct answer. A. Check your mirrors.
Explanation: before making any sudden maneuver, braking or steering, you must first check your mirrors to understand the traffic situation around you. This ensures your reaction doesn't create a more dangerous secondary incident. Question 26.
What is the purpose of draining the air tanks?
A. To add alcohol to the system in cold weather. B. To remove collected water and compressor oil. C. To release air pressure for maintenance. D. To connect an external air supply for filling tires.
Correct answer. B. To remove collected water and compressor oil.
Explanation: air tanks must be drained daily because the compression process generates moisture and can pass oil into the system. Draining prevents this contamination from causing brake failure, especially in freezing weather. Question 27.
When hauling a seal trailer, what is the driver's responsibility regarding the cargo?
A. The driver is not responsible for the cargo in any way. B. The driver is still responsible for the gross weight and axle weights of the vehicle. C. The driver is allowed to break the seal for inspection. D. The driver is exempt from hours of service rules.
Correct answer. B. The driver is still responsible for the gross weight and axle weights of the vehicle.
Explanation: even though you cannot inspect a sealed load directly, you are still responsible for ensuring the vehicle is not overweight. You must also be aware of any signs of a load shift. Question 28.
What is the primary danger of swinging wide to the left before making a tight right turn?
A. The maneuver is illegal in all 50 states. B. It can cause the trailer's tires to hit the curb. C. A vehicle behind you may attempt to pass you on the right. D. It puts unnecessary stress on the steering components.
Correct answer, C. A vehicle behind you may attempt to pass you on the right.
Explanation: this is known as a bunhook turn. Swinging left can confuse other drivers, who may assume you are turning left and try to pass on your right side, creating a severe crash hazard. Question 29.
What is the most frequent cause of vehicle skids?
A. Worn tires with insufficient tread depth. B. Improperly adjusted or unbalanced brakes. C. Traveling too fast for the current conditions. D. A sudden shift of a poorly secured cargo load.
Correct answer, C. Traveling too fast for the current conditions.
Explanation: while equipment defects can contribute, the single most common cause of skids is operator error, specifically driving too fast for the available traction on the road. Question 30.
What is the safest response to an aggressive driver?
A. Use your horn and lights to show you are not intimidated. B. Attempt to block their path to slow them down. C. Avoid eye contact, ignore their gestures, and create space. D. Follow them to get their license plate number.
Correct answer, C. Avoid eye contact, ignore their gestures, and create space.
Explanation: your priority is to de-escalate the situation and maintain your own safety. Do not engage the aggressive driver. Slow down, create distance, and let them pass if necessary. Question 31.
What is the maximum speed limit for a commercial truck on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, unless posted otherwise?
A. 55 mph. B. 65 mph. C. 70 mph. D. 75 mph.
Correct answer, C. 70 mph.
Explanation: unless a lower speed is posted for a specific area, like a work zone or tunnel, the maximum speed limit for all vehicles, including commercial trucks, on the PA Turnpike is 70 mph. Question 32.
Which statement about black ice is true?
A. It is a special type of ice that only forms on dark pavement. B. It is easily visible because it is black in color. C. It is a thin, transparent layer of ice that is very hard to see. D. It is a thick layer of ice mixed with dirt.
Correct answer, C. It is a thin, transparent layer of ice that is very hard to see.
Explanation: black ice is a thin sheet of clear ice on the roadway. Because it is transparent, the dark road surface is visible underneath, making it look like a wet patch rather than ice. Question 33.
What does the low air pressure warning device indicate?
A. That air pressure in the tanks has dropped below a safe level. B. That the air compressor has failed. C. That other drivers cannot see your brake lights. D. That the brake pads are critically worn.
Correct answer, A. That air pressure in the tanks has dropped below a safe level.
Explanation: all air brake systems must have a warning device, light and purr or buzzer, that activates before pressure drops below 60 psi, alerting the driver to a potentially critical loss of braking capability. Question 34.
What happens during a front wheel skid?
A. The vehicle will tend to go straight, regardless of steering input. B. The vehicle will pull sharply to one side. C. The front brakes will completely lock up. D. The rear of the vehicle will swing out.
Correct answer, A. The vehicle will tend to go straight, regardless of steering input.
Explanation: in a front wheel skid, understeer, the front tires have lost traction, and the vehicle will continue to move straight ahead even if the wheels are turned. The only way to regain control is to slow down and allow the tires to regain grip. Question 35.
If a vehicle is following you too closely, tailgating, what should you do?
A. Tap your brake several times to get their attention. B. Increase your following distance from the vehicle ahead. C. Speed up to create more distance behind you. D. Signal for the tailgater to pass you on the left.
Correct answer, B. Increase your following distance from the vehicle ahead.
Explanation: by increasing your own following distance, you create a larger buffer in front of you. This allows you to brake more gradually if needed, reducing the risk of the tailgater colliding with your trailer. Question 36.
What is included in the gross combination weight, GCW?
A. The weight of the tractor only. B. The legal maximum weight a truck can have. C. The total weight of the tractor, trailer, and all cargo. D. The weight of the cargo being transported.
Correct answer, C. The total weight of the tractor, trailer, and all cargo.
Explanation: GCW is the actual, scaled weight of the entire combination vehicle at a specific point in time, including the power unit, all trailers, and the freight. Question 37.
When driving a truck with an automatic transmission, when should you select a lower gear for a downgrade?
A. After you have started down the hill and picked up speed. B. Before starting down the hill, while on level ground. C. The transmission will select the correct gear automatically. D. Only on downgrades longer than 1 mile.
Correct answer, B. Before starting down the hill, while on level ground.
Explanation: as with a manual transmission, you must downshift before beginning the descent. This allows the engine and transmission to help control the vehicle's speed, saving the service brakes. Question 38.
What does it mean if a tire on your vehicle is mismatched?
A. Its size or type does not match the other tires on the same axle. B. It has a different brand name than the other tires. C. It has a noticeably different tread pattern. D. It is inflated to a different pressure than the other tires.
Correct answer, A. Its size or type does not match the other tires on the same axle.
Explanation: tires on the same axle must be the same size, e.g., 11 or 22.5, and type, radial or bias ply. Different brands or tread patterns are permissible, but size and type must match. Question 39.
If a tire blows out at highway speed, what should your first reaction be?
A. Brake hard to stop as quickly as possible. B. Grip the steering wheel firmly and stay off the brakes. C. Quickly steer onto the nearest shoulder. D. Apply the trailer handbrake to stabilize the vehicle.
Correct answer, B. Grip the steering wheel firmly and stay off the brakes.
Explanation: a blowout will cause a strong pull. The most important first step is to grip the wheel firmly to maintain steering control. Let the vehicle slow down on its own before braking gently. Question 40.
What is the correct procedure for the static air leakage test?
A. Apply the service brakes fully and hold for 1 minute to check for leaks. B. Charge the air system, shut off the engine, release the brakes, and time the pressure drop for 1 minute. C. Pump the brakes with the engine off until the low air warning activates. D. Drive at 5 mph and check for leaks.
Correct answer, B. Charge the air system, shut off the engine, release the brakes, and time the pressure drop for 1 minute.
Explanation: to test for static leaks, you build full air pressure, shut off the engine, and release all brake controls. The pressure drop should not exceed 2 psi in 1 minute for a single vehicle or 3 psi for a combination vehicle. Question 41.
How often must a commercial vehicle in Pennsylvania undergo a mandatory safety inspection?
A. Every 6 months. B. Every 12 months, annually. C. Only when it is sold. D. Only if it is more than 5 years old.
Correct answer, B. Every 12 months, annually.
Explanation: Pennsylvania requires most commercial motor vehicles with a registered gross weight over 17,000 pounds to be inspected annually. Question 42.
If your ABS malfunction lamp comes on and stays on while driving, it means
A. You must stop immediately as you have no brakes. B. Your service brakes may not work correctly. C. The ABS is not functioning, but your service brakes should still work. D. You should pump the brakes to reset the light.
Correct answer, C. The ABS is not functioning, but your service brakes should still work.
Explanation: an illuminated ABS lamp indicates a fault in the anti-lock braking system. Your standard air brakes should still function normally, but the anti-lock feature will not be available in a hard braking event. The system should be serviced soon. Question 43.
In the context of vehicle handling, what is countersteering?
A. Turning the steering wheel in the opposite direction of the trailer's movement when backing. B. Turning the steering wheel back in the opposite direction after an evasive maneuver. C. Steering with one hand while the other is shifting gears. D. The initial steering input required to start a turn.
Correct answer, B. Turning the steering wheel back in the opposite direction after an evasive maneuver.
Explanation: after steering to avoid a hazard, e.g., steering left to avoid something on the right, the driver must then countersteer, turn right, to straighten the vehicle and regain stability. Question 44.
Which of the following is critical for preventing a rollover?
A. Loading cargo with a low center of gravity. B. Slowing down for curves, corners, and ramps. C. Ensuring the cargo load is balanced and centered. D. All of the above.
Correct answer, D. All of the above.
Explanation: all three actions are essential for rollover prevention. Keeping the center of gravity low, reducing speed for any turn, and ensuring the load is stable are critical safety practices. Question 45.
If your vehicle becomes disabled on a two-lane, two-way road, how should you place your reflective triangles?
A. 100 feet in front of the vehicle and 100 feet behind it. B. 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet behind the vehicle. C. 1 on the vehicle, and 100 feet to the front and rear. D. 10 feet behind, 100 feet behind, and 100 feet in front of the vehicle.
Correct answer, D. 10 feet behind, 100 feet behind, and 100 feet in front of the vehicle.
Explanation: to warn traffic from both directions, you must place one triangle 100 feet ahead of the vehicle, one 10 feet behind it, and a third 100 feet behind it. Question 46.
When is the proper and universally legal time to use your four-way emergency flashers?
A. When driving in heavy rain to be more visible. B. When your vehicle is stopped and is a hazard to other traffic. C. Any time you are driving slower than the speed of traffic. D. To thank a driver who let you merge.
Correct answer, B. When your vehicle is stopped and is a hazard to other traffic.
Explanation: the primary and universally legal use of hazard lights is to warn other drivers that your vehicle is stopped and creating a hazard. Using them while moving is illegal in some states and can cause confusion. Question 47.
Which statement best describes the progressive shifting technique?
A. Shifting at a higher engine RPM with each successive gear. B. Shifting gears in a non-sequential order to save time. C. Shifting up to the next gear at the lowest practical engine speed. D. Shifting from a low gear directly to a high gear to save fuel.
Correct answer, C. Shifting up to the next gear at the lowest practical engine speed.
Explanation: progressive shifting is a fuel-saving technique that involves shifting up as soon as the engine has enough RPM to handle the next gear without lugging or straining. Question 48.
Which statement best describes the risk of using a mobile phone while operating a CMV?
A. It is legal if a hands-free device is used. B. It significantly increases the risk of a crash. C. It is only a major risk in heavy, urban traffic. D. It is a primary offense only when texting.
Correct answer, B. It significantly increases the risk of a crash.
Explanation: both federal rules and numerous studies confirm that any mobile phone use, including hands-free, distracts the driver and significantly increases crash risk. Texting and handheld phone use are strictly prohibited for CMV drivers. Question 49.
Which of these best describes hydroplaning?
A. A technique for driving on icy roads. B. When tires lose contact with the road by riding on a film of water. C. The cleaning process for a truck's undercarriage. D. A type of tire designed for all weather conditions.
Correct answer, B. When tires lose contact with the road by riding on a film of water.
Explanation: hydroplaning occurs when water pressure pushes your tires off the road surface, leading to a loss of traction, braking, and steering control. It's most likely at higher speeds on wet roads. Question 50.
What is the correct procedure if you are forced to leave the roadway in an emergency?
A. Apply the brakes hard while turning onto the shoulder. B. Avoid braking until the vehicle has stabilized at a lower speed. C. Attempt to stop completely on the pavement before going onto the shoulder. D. Set the cruise control to maintain your speed.
Correct answer, B. Avoid braking until the vehicle has stabilized at a lower speed.
Explanation: the primary goal is to maintain control. Steer onto the shoulder and only apply brakes gently after the vehicle is stable and has slowed to about 20 mph. Hard braking on an unstable surface can induce a skid or rollover. Question 51.
What does Pennsylvania's steer clear law require drivers to do?
A. Stop behind a stationary emergency vehicle. B. Slow down and move over for stationary emergency and service vehicles. C. Honk the horn to acknowledge the emergency vehicle. D. Only move over for PA state police vehicles.
Correct answer, B. Slow down and move over for stationary emergency and service vehicles.
Explanation: Pennsylvania's steer clear law requires drivers to move to a non-adjacent lane when approaching a stationary emergency or service vehicle with lights flashing. If unable to move over, drivers must slow to a prudent speed. Question 52.
When a road is wet, how much can you expect your total stopping distance to increase?
A. It will not be affected. B. It may be slightly shorter due to the cooling effect on the brakes. C. It may double. D. It may increase by about 25%.
Correct answer, C. It may double.
Explanation: wet surfaces dramatically reduce tire friction. As a general rule, you should at least double your normal following distance and expect your stopping distance to be twice as long. Question 53.
In defensive driving, what is meant by a space cushion?
A. The vehicle's airbag system. B. The empty area inside a trailer. C. The buffer of safe space maintained around your vehicle. D. The area directly behind your trailer.
Correct answer, C. The buffer of safe space maintained around your vehicle.
Explanation: a space cushion is the area to the front, rear, and sides of your vehicle that you keep clear of other vehicles. This gives you time and space to react to hazards. Question 54.
Which of the following is classified as a serious traffic violation for a CDL holder?
A. Driving 15 mph or more above the posted speed limit. B. Making an improper or erratic lane change. C. Following another vehicle too closely, tailgating. D. All of the above.
Correct answer, D. All of the above.
Explanation: all of the listed offenses are defined as serious violations. Accumulating 2 or more within a 3-year period can lead to a CDL disqualification. Question 55.
In an air brake system, what is the function of the safety relief valve?
A. It automatically releases air if the pressure exceeds a safe level. B. It allows the driver to manually drain water from the tanks. C. It helps the service brake supply more quickly. D. It maintains the air pressure at a constant 100 psi.
Correct answer, A. It automatically releases air if the pressure exceeds a safe level.
Explanation: the safety relief valve is a backup device. If the governor fails to stop the compressor, this valve will open, typically at 150 psi, to prevent the air tanks from being overpressurized. Question 56.
What are glad hands?
A. A brand of driver's gloves. B. The coupling devices used to connect the service and emergency air lines between the tractor and trailer. C. A type of tool for adjusting slack adjusters. D. The handles on the doors of a van trailer.
Correct answer, B. The coupling devices used to connect the service and emergency airlines between the tractor and trailer.
Explanation: glad hands are the interlocking couplers that allow air to be passed from the tractor to the trailer's brake system. They must be clean and have intact seals to prevent air leaks. Question 57.
What is the correct and safe procedure when approaching a railroad crossing?
A. Accelerate to clear the tracks as quickly as possible. B. Slow down, look both ways, and listen for a train. C. Rely on the warning signals to indicate if a train is coming. D. Stop only if you can see a train approaching.
Correct answer, B. Slow down, look both ways, and listen for a train.
Explanation: never assume a crossing is clear. Always slow down to be prepared to stop, and actively look and listen for a train. You must stop if required by signs, signals, or the presence of a train. Question 58.
When should you remove the cap from a pressurized coolant system?
A. Only when the engine is running. B. When the engine is hot to release pressure. C. At any time, as long as you do it slowly. D. Never remove the cap while the system is hot and under pressure.
Correct answer, D. Never remove the cap while the system is hot and under pressure.
Explanation: removing the cap from a hot, pressurized system can cause boiling coolant to erupt violently, leading to severe burns. You must wait for the engine to cool completely. Question 59.
According to federal regulations, a load overhanging the rear of a vehicle by 4 feet or more must be marked with
A. A red flag during the day and a red light at night. B. A flashing amber light at all times. C. An oversized load banner. D. A strobe light at all times.
Correct answer, A. A red flag during the day and a red light at night.
Explanation: for safety, any overhang of 4 feet or more must be marked at its extreme end with a 12-inch square red or orange flag during daylight hours. At night, a red light visible for 500 feet is required. Question 60.
After driving through standing water, what should you do to ensure your brakes are working?
A. Speed up to air dry the brake components. B. Stop the vehicle and wait for the brakes to dry. C. Apply light, steady pressure to the brakes while driving slowly. D. Continue driving normally, as they are designed to shed water.
Correct answer, C. Apply light, steady pressure to the brakes while driving slowly.
Explanation: the friction from lightly applying the brakes, dragging them, will generate heat, which helps to dry the brake shoes and drums, restoring normal braking performance.